After a decades-long wait, Reebok is back in the performance basketball market, and they mean business. Today, we're checking out the first entry in a new performance line, and that's going to be the Reebok Engine A. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you, and I am super excited about the sneaker we're looking at today. One that has been 10 years in the making, and ever since I saw the previews, the rollout of the sneaker, I've been super excited to get my hands on it. And big shout out to the Reebok family for sending this pair over so I can give you guys an early look before it drops this week. And that sneaker is going to be the Reebok Engine A. Now, this is Reebok's first performance basketball sneaker in over a decade, and I gotta tell you, first impressions, super impressed. Now, heads up before we get into this video, this shoe dropped off literally like 2 hours ago. This is not a performance review, but that will be coming. I'll give you guys my first impression so that way you guys know on the 13th when they drop, hey, what am I getting into? What's the cost? 120 bucks. Just so you have an idea of what it is before, again, spending your money. But again, big shout out to the Reebok fam for sending this over so I can make that happen for you guys. Now, with the box that these came in, they actually included a card as well. And that's gonna say a couple different things. So one is like a nice little snippet about the sneaker and what they're doing here. And it says, we're excited to share with you the first true performance basketball product from Reebok in over a decade. The Engine A is a literal and figurative jumping off point for the new era of our brand. Equipped with the Reebok Celebrated Energy Return System, this innovative basketball shoe offers explosive speed, agility, maximum responsiveness, exceptional traction, and lockdown support. Inspired by the dynamic playing style that drives us, the Engine A is designed to push the limits of performance basketball. And we want to thank you for accepting this package and embracing the journey alongside us. So shout outs to Reebok for that. Now, on the flip side of this, we're going to have some of the key components of the sneaker, which of course we're going to talk about here in a minute. And heck, why not just get into it? So first thing we're going to list out here is going to be the exoskeleton, the lightweight molded upper that offers secure, breathable support and dynamic fit. So that's going to be here. This is going to be this type of fuse, I'm assuming TPU covering that we're getting here. That's going to be this really cool cage. I really like it because it gives the shoe a kind of a really tough and fast look. And I noticed it's just the launch color is silver, but I love this kind of liquid metal look to it that we're getting. And I'm sure there's a lot of different ones out there. I think there's like this green slime color we saw. It was Angel Reese wearing, if I'm not mistaken. And just, I love how this cage sits on top of the shoe, which again provides some stability, provides you with support. And also going to make sure all these high wear areas of the sneaker are protected because it's going to sit on top of this type of engineered mesh that we're getting. This one is going to be done up in black and seems pretty decently breathable. Not a heavy material whatsoever. It does have underneath like a kind of a softer mesh backing, so that way you're not just sitting on top of that, getting that thinner material. You want to make sure it is comfortable when you put your foot inside. Now as we go up top, we're gonna have our lacing system here. Pretty traditional lacing setup. You're gonna have the eyes that are gonna have the thicker fuse back setup so that way it's not ripping through, of course, as you're pulling them tighter and as you're playing. You're gonna have a flat, kind of a skinny lace here done up in black. No additional laces, but with this one, I really truly don't think you need any additional laces. And it's gonna sit on top of this type of neoprene tongue. Now, what's cool is that with the tongue, it's kind of like a booty system, a 3/4 booty system, I guess. So up top, you're gonna have a loose tongue. Oh gosh, too close. Up top, you're gonna have a loose tongue, so you of course can open it up and get your foot in, but the rest of it goes down to more of a booty system, so you do have that lockdown and that comfort. Now, up top of the tongue, you're gonna have your Reebok branding done up in a silver embroidery here, and you see ERS. Now, the ERS is gonna be a nitrogen-infused superfloat, or the foam they use to provide the best responsiveness, the best energy return. And I know a lot of people, some of my older videos, I did some of the retros of the ERS. They were saying, oh, that's not real ERS. Guys, first off, calm down. Like, how do you, like, I guess in my mind, it's like, how do you know it's not real ERS? Because ERS is a foam. Now, was it something different than it was before? Quite possibly so. Times change. But if you guys want, I guess, a true performance ERS, since those were more casual shoes, come here to the Engine A, because they have revamped that, and we're going to talk about that now. Now, what's really nice about the information they put on this card about the ERS, which they're actually put on the sneaker as well. So if you're big into knowing what's going on with your technology, Reebok's gonna make sure you know. Right here in the back of the tongue, you guys get a better look with the B-roll. It's gonna say energy return system uses highly resilient, lightweight, nitrogen-infused foam that absorbs shock and returns energy. So it's gonna be a foam that's very responsive, so that way as you're doing these basketball movements in a high intensity game, you're gonna get energy return while still being comfortable without hurting your feet, getting too much court feel. But again, we want to make sure you are getting the bounce back you need. So that's what this ERS is. And as we talk about it, we're gonna skip the midsole just for a second, go right to the ERS. Something that they've done new is gonna be a little bit new shaping, which you can see in the cutout from the outsole here, and it even says energy return system down here. If you didn't know, it's done kind of this bright crimson. And something that has never been done in any of the ERS sneakers is that these portholes they cut out, you can actually see the core here. That was never visible in any other sneakers according to Reebok, so that way you can actually see it now, which is really cool. And something else that's never been done, 4-foot ERS. You're gonna get the 4-foot energy return system here. First time they've done it, so you're gonna get it not only in the heel, but you're also gonna get that same comfort on the front of your foot as well, which is awesome. I always wonder sometimes in basketball shoes when they just pick one side of the sneaker to put the cushion in, like why not the whole thing? And hey, Reebok made sure you're comfortable the whole ride, so front to back, you're gonna get the ERS here. Now, this shoe was inspired by some of the old ERS models like the ERS Money, and it's really taking that heritage and driving into the future here, which is, again, really cool. I like how they do that. Now, as you get to the midsole, it is going to be an EVA foam that's going to be housing that ERS. So you're going to have a nice lightweight foam, and it's pretty comfortable. It's not super soft. Again, you don't want your basketball sneaker like super soft where it's like just sinking down. You do want to have some kind of rigidness to it, so that way you're getting, again, a spring and a bounce back. But as I put these shoes on, I put them on just to kind of walk around my house, honestly, for the last couple of hours, and it didn't seem like I needed any like real break-in time. I'm sure every shoe requires a little bit of break-in time, but when I put these on, they were pretty comfortable immediately and seemed like they're ready to go on court as soon as you do. You don't have to worry about, okay, let me get a couple warm-ups in before I can play in them for real. Seems like this shoe is pretty ready to jump on court out of the box, which I think is awesome. And again, I'm gonna figure that out here soon. I just got them and I can't just leave to go play basketball in the middle of the day. Now, something that you're also gonna see is going to be an outrigger here. On the outside is gonna be done up in the a tougher rubber here. So you're gonna have the Reebok branding. You have a little bit of an outrigger here to make sure that you are, of course, not falling over the side of the shoe. Gives you that extra stability on the outside or the lateral side of the sneaker here. We're gonna go back to the top of the sneaker here. We're gonna see our Reebok branding on the heel area. We're gonna have this really thick kind of vinyl setup. It almost reminds me of a car wing. You see how you have that molding there? It reminds me of something you would see in a car, which was really cool. It goes with that Engine A, as we talk about engines and cars, they kind of go hand in hand. You're gonna have, of course, the ERS branding here, which they call the license plate. So again, goes exactly with the car talk there. And as we get down to the outside of the sneaker, we're gonna have our multi-directional traction. That's gonna be done up in a mixture of translucent and solid rubber. There you go. And yes, I know I walked around, I actually went to go throw out the trash, so they got some stuff on the bottom of my shoe. But the B-roll is gonna be fully clean, so you get a full clean look of that. Outsole, that of course has the, again, visible ERS and the cutouts, but also you're gonna have your Reebok branding and of course more Reebok branding on the heel. Now, from what I've seen so far in this sneaker, it is, again, super comfortable right off the bat. And again, talking about basketball shoes, that's not the case all the time. And of course, with the mixture of the cushioning system, and although it's not like a named insole, it's decently thick and has some decent cushion to it, seems like. I mean, it's just a foam, it's nothing like special out of this world, but it seems like with the thickness and sturdiness of it, it should last for a little bit. Of course, if you have your own orthotics you use, feel free to switch them out. I'm sure that it's expected, especially if you're a high-level basketball player. You're probably not using the stock insoles there. But it's one of those sneakers I would say go true to size. I put it on immediately. Again, it felt comfortable. It didn't feel too tight, didn't feel too loose, but it felt right. It felt like a nice one-to-one fit. It is something that I, again, try it on if you have the capability of doing so. But if not, I would say go ahead, go true to size. It's not super slim, but if you're trying to think of equate it to a shoe that is out there right now, I say, honestly, whatever you wear performance basketball wise, I think it translates directly to this. So if you're wide footed, you go up half size, and everything else, go up a half size. If you're true to size, go true to size. It is a very well made shoe. I'm very impressed by what I've seen so far. And again, they do release on the 13th for $120, so I think it's a pretty fair price with everything else being super expensive. But definitely worth a try, I think. And I love how they're releasing right before All-Star Weekend. You know, everyone's excited about basketball this weekend, so why not keep that hype going and get you a new basketball shoe from the team at Reebok. So thank you again to Reebok for sending this pair over. But let me know your initial thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? You ready to get your pair? Let me know down below. And until next time, guys, see ya.